Hey, what's up YouTube people? This is Jake, Viper 15 Alpha 41. This is my family room. These are my dogs fighting each other. I'm going to give you a quick update of what we got going on with the fish tanks. First of all, here's the 75 gallon, my cichlid tank, South American cichlids. Made a few changes recently, switched out the gravel from that white larger grade gravel to this mixed color brown and white gravel. Smaller. I was running into problems with the white gravel keeping it clean. This stuff, it's much easier to keep clean, but it's changed the look of the tank, changed the amount of light that reflects off the bottom. My fish look pretty good if you check them out. I got my Jack Dempsey, that's #1 fish, and Mr. Oscar here, that's #2, and they're always fighting for dominance of this tank. The rest of them are all doing real well. They're always chasing each other around or fussing over who's owns what flower pot. I don't think you can see it, but I'm going to show you where that, you see where that little convict's coming out of the flower pot. There's another clutch of eggs in there. This is the third batch that she's done. The second batch weren't real successful. The first batch was very successful, and I've got baby convicts all over the place. I've got them in most of my tanks. There's one coming out right there, a little dude. He's about ½ an inch long. My Jack Dempsey looks, I got a pair of Jack Dempseys, they look real good. My Green Terror, it's got some amazing colors. My Fire Mouse, they all look real good. Everybody's just super healthy. This guy, when I set this tank up, this Oscar was the smallest fish in the tank. Now he is the largest. He's pushing 4 inches long. He is, you know, he doesn't have the greatest markings. It's not the prettiest Oscar I've ever seen, but he's got a lot of personality, and he's just a cool fish. He's a lot of fun to watch. Over on my planted tank, bear with me as I walk across the room. So you guys know I made some changes to my lighting situation. This is my T5 high output, and then I've got some T8 low output, but there are 65K bulbs in there. I did a minor rescape on this tank. That Amazon sword was up here in the center of the tank, and it was growing so thick and tall that it was kind of smothering everybody else. So I moved it further back. Got my Anubis, got a little clutch of Anubis here that I've kind of collected together, and moved some Sages and up here. I've got some Java Fern that was kind of cool. This little batch of Java Ferns growing on top of a piece of driftwood. I didn't put it there, it just kind of showed up. You know, so it was kind of a cool random occurrence. My favorite thing I want to talk about right now is check out my Madagascar. If you look at one of the last videos I did, or more recent videos, you see this plant was much smaller. Well, under these highlights, it is growing like crazy, and check this out. It's the first time it has ever done this. I've got this crazy looking bloom, see if you can see it. Where is it? Here we go. Right here, it's got this little bud going on. It's growing out of the water. Never seen it do that before. I haven't seen it on any other videos. It's pretty cool. I'm proud of that. That's excellent. Fish are doing great. Predominantly rainbows, but I got some other just mixed common fish. Dirted tank. When I did the rescape, it made a huge mess, and I did about a 200% water change and got it back in shape. Most of these plants came from Dustin, though some of them were ordered from Fired Up Aquatics too. If you guys will hang on half a second, I'll show you my 55. This is my 55 gallon. This is my latest project. Talked about in another video how I set it up. I'll give you guys an update on how things going. I've added some additional plants. Got some microswords I've tucked in around in the gravel. They're doing alright. I'm sorry, but I've forgotten the name of these little clover plants. They don't get really much bigger than they are right here, but they spread out. Added some extra things in here, and then my wife has picked the fish in this tank. I put a lotus in here, and it's doing real well. Got a couple leaves that are kind of wilty. This tank's, you know, I just put it together, so it's, some of the plants are kind of melting a little bit. Not as bad as I anticipated, but they're still, it's a little rough looking. The fish I have in here, everything are very common. As a matter of fact, everything was bought at PetSmart. That's one of my little baby cichlids, convicts I took out of my other tank. It's unfortunate, but there was probably, I don't know, 100 of these dudes, and Mr. Oscar made a snack out of them. So, but we went to a local pet store, one of the chain stores. I'm not going to mention its name, but it's just a chain anyway, and found several fish. My wife picked all these out. Little angelfish, some gouramis, neons. Everything's very common. One problem I have, and I mentioned in my last video, is that my local independent fish store has gone out of business. And that jams me up as far as where I'm going to find any more unique or hard to find fish. You know, I'm growing to be a South American cichlid freak. I've got a 200-gallon tank that I'm going to be setting up shortly, and that'll be a series of videos with that. And I want to get some fish that are going to be big fish, you know, 12, 14, 16-inch fish. I don't have the means to buy those locally anymore, so I would really like to hear where you guys are getting your fish from. Do you have local resources available, or are you buying them online? If you're buying them online, please let me know where you're getting them from. Because, you know, like I said, part of the... I don't have that resource available to me anymore, and I'm deeply saddened by it. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. I'm going to try to be a little more consistent in how I put them out. I'm going to try to do at least one a week. I know I'm a little behind here. But I appreciate everybody watching them. Throw me a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll talk to you later.